Welcome everyone to today's discussion on generative AI and education at school. Generative AI is transforming how we approach teaching and learning, offering tools that can create personalized content, support creative projects, and enhance the overall education experience. Today we'll explore how this technology is being integrated into schools, its potential to improve student outcomes, and the challenges we need to consider. Our panelists will share insights on how schools can effectively leverage generative AI to shape the future of education. Let's dive in and introduce our distinguished panelists who bring knowledge and experience to today's session. We are honored to have Kavita Sanghvi with advanced degrees in physics, education, and philosophy of education and a Harvard CAEL diploma. She's the head of SVKM's CNM school in Mumbai. She won the National Award 2022 from President Draupadi Murmu and is a Tech SDG, Climate Action, and Scientix Ambassador for India. Recently appointed to the National Mission for Mentoring, she is also a British Council trainer. Kavita developed the Build Your STEM competency course and contributes to Cambridge IGCSE physics resources, training teachers in India and abroad. We welcome you, ma'am, to today's panel discussion.
Thank you so much.
Also, we are joined today by the co-founder of Gravitas AI, Mr. Aarsh Srivastava. Welcome to the panel discussion, sir. Actually, you're muted, sir.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for that. So yeah, but very much interested to have this discussion. It's a very new topic, and I'm very glad to have be the co-panel with Kavita ji on this.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. So let's start with a short and exciting fireside chat. So my first question goes here. As we navigate the current landscape of education with the rise of generative AI, what is the single most transformative change you believe is happening in schools right now? We can start with you, ma'am.
Beginning, I think what I'm seeing is that the mundane work is being taken over by AI, and so my teachers and all are more concentrating on the teaching learning transaction. So that is the most transformative change I'm finding is that we are no more getting into menial work, which is already can be done by AI in some matter of seconds. So when it comes to PPT or when it comes to alignment or when it comes to sourcing out your emails to understand what is the synopsis or the PDF to know the entire method or whatever is expected in the PDF. I think I'm not wasting time into any of that. So that is the most transformative change. And another thing is that everybody is accepting it so beautifully. That also is a transformative change.
I totally agree with this, and it's a game changer. And rightly mentioned about the effort and the time which we're saving, which also translates into a lot of quality and also at the same time a lot of productivity, which we can see because if we free up the brains who are the who will be the builders of the nation in future, then we'll be able to let them think more, engage more creativity and start building up new things. So we are actually with these kind of tools, it's very convenient in terms of gathering a lot of data, a lot of information, so people are not wasting time in gathering the information, searching a lot of things. Rather, you have got all the resources which you can work with and try to transform and try to think in a very different line, be practical, be experiential, and keep innovating. So that's the most transformative aspect of generative AI which is come into picture. Having said that, there's a lot of possibility of experiential learning experiences being improved with generative AI by providing more immersive experiences as well.
Thank you, Arsa and Kavita, ma'am, for your insights on this. And definitely, the shift towards personalized learning experiences powered by generative AI stands out as the most transformative change. And one point that I would also like to add is that by tailoring educational content to individual student needs, AI is helping create a more engaging and effective learning environment. Like Kavita ma'am also mentioned about how it is helping teachers and students in making the PPTs and making their tasks easier. So it is in short paving the way for a future where every student can thrive. So moving towards our next question. Um, If you could design a dream school from scratch using generative AI, what would it look like and how would it differ from schools today?
Now
I
this
think
is
that's more of
really
a question for Kavita, from me, because
Yes, right.
um, if I had to use generative AI, so I think a lot of things would change in the sense that the structure of the school wouldn't be the way it is right now. The closed classrooms and students seated across, and there's a a whiteboard in front of them or an interactive classboard in front of them. I think I would basically have every student with a device in front of them actually. So I play with the AI completely to gather information and discuss informations, and then maybe have a more informal setting across, but not a formal structure that I'm looking across. I think that would be one change. The second change I would look into is when I look at my libraries right now. I think that library also would become a more interactive library where they're talking to bots, they're talking to AI, and they're telling, okay, exactly how can we even recreate this thing. So that is something my libraries would change. My experiments, my science laboratories also, I would want them doing more simulations to becoming actually being a part of that 3D experience and feeling that thing, even though they're not having the ingredients or the material for it. So I think it will be very, very I don't know what to say across it. I know he spoke about experiential base, but I think it would be more about with all the senses immersed, is what I'm looking at right now. So if that would be what my school would use generative AI, and even my assessments would change because I wouldn't now anymore give that recall because information is already available. So if this information is available to you, then how would you rework and make it more productive, or how would you apply this knowledge across in new circumstances, or how would you use it to solve a world problem right now, a global problem right now? So I think I would change the format also of the assessment. So I think this is what my dream school would look like.
I think she was pulled the right plugs, and I was very listening very carefully, and the kind of vision which is exhibited is about changing the overall experience. So how we perceive, how we react, how we do take that forward. So it's all about thinking and mimicking the intelligence, and trying to mimic how humans react, how humans perceive, how our brains work with all the neurons which we have in our heads. So just trying to recreate that, and recreating that in a sequential way, in an incremental way, so that we can keep building on top of it and keep increasing the productivity, and start utilizing the power of the technology to benefit all the stakeholders, not only students but also the teachers, because teachers will also get a lot of information, because they are excellent at providing the right kind of things to the students which are required by them. But how about enabling them with more information, more easy to access information, easy to reproduce information, easy to generate the type of content which the students will like to uh, take or receive from the educators. So yeah, there's a lot of things, there are a lot of things which can be done, and rightly said by her that the dream school can be something which will have different type of experiences in all the various aspects. So yeah, it seems like a bit sci-fi sometimes, but yeah, we are actually getting towards it. It's not very far that we'll have like a very much transformed way of providing education.
Definitely. I completely agree with you both, and thank you for sharing your vision. And a dream school powered by generative AI would likely be a highly adaptive and personalized environment where each student's learning path is uniquely crafted based on their strengths, interests, and pace. And one more point that I would like to add is that unlike traditional schools and their libraries, as Kavita ma'am also mentioned about it, this model would emphasize creativity, critical thinking, and real world problem solving. So, it will, in short, offer a more holistic and student centered approach to education. Now, to kick off our education and innovation spotlight session, let's dive into the groundbreaking ideas and advancements that are shaping the future. So, first question of this segment would be: what are the potential challenges and considerations for schools when adopting new AI tools, and how can they be addressed?
Okay,
Right.
so should I go first or?
Yep.
Yeah,
If you okay, yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, so the first challenge is basically what is the objective of your tool? So when you're taking anything in school, you need to know that it is particular, level of students. It cannot be something which can open things which are not meant for students. So even if students want to play around it, it should be allowed to not allow students to play with it. So the one challenge with me, make sure that it is age appropriate. It does not give a chance for students to explore things which is not to be done at that particular age. And it also protects the privacy of the students, because privacy is very, very important. Data privacy, all those kinds of privacy is very important. So when I'm adopting any new AI tools, I have to know that if I'm taking for my particular school, then my school data cannot be shared with any other tool, with any other device or any other company or something of that sort. So that will be something with any AI tools. What is my privacy, my data privacy? How secure am I when I'm playing with that AI tool? Because right now, so if they tell you use ChatGPT, they say do not enter anything which is personal and all that. It can be used. So obviously, when I have something telling me openly like this, I'm not going to bring it to my school and say yes, students, you can use it, because children are children. They will not know where to draw the line. So that is one thing that is the most important consideration and a challenge for my school. And the second thing is exactly, how do I know that this will work in my school or not? So maybe a kind of a pilot project needs to be done within my school for some time before I implement it across the entire school. So that kind of leeway, the kind of support is required, where you handhold for some time to understand how we all are going to change across that period. So any new tool you bring in, for example, let me tell you, we bring in say Gamma AI tool for PPTs. Okay, maybe I've brought in the tool, but when you tell the tool to type in and create a PPT, they don't know exactly whether it's considering to your needs or something. You need to know exactly what inputs you need to give, what prompts you need to
yeah.
give. So that handholding is very important. Who's going to do that handholding with us, and how are they going to train us for this, and how are they going to monitor it for us till you can then say after a year or two, okay, now I feel the school is good for it and we can let go of it. So those are a few considerations I would have with terms of maybe data, with terms of handholding, with terms of training, and with terms of the limits to what it can show to my students.
Yep, definitely. And continuing from there, I think if I like to summarize it in a framework basically. So if we say there's a framework, a triple S framework, which we can work with in terms of considering the potential challenges and considerations. When I say triple S, it's about siloed operations, S, and then we've got the security aspect, and then the stakeholders. So these three aspects, if we consider, we'll be able to create a strategy which is holistic, sustainable, and can be ROI driven in terms, not only in terms of monetary ROI driven, but also in terms of increasing the intellectual capital. So if we consider stakeholders who are involved in the different sites, different type of operations, we'll be able to understand what their user needs are. Similarly, if we consider different departments, we'll able to understand what are the siloed operations which are happening, and where there are opportunities to integrate, where there are opportunities to actually get insights from each other department and maybe collaborate and create some synergies. And also very important point about data security, which is very important, considering that the kind of information which AI can process is amazing. So we have to be very careful about how we are dealing with the data, where we are dealing with the data, who is dealing with the data, and when and how we should stop excess as well. It's very important for organizations or regulatory bodies to create some regulations around it. So we have ethical principles in place to create solutions, even for like suppliers who, like us, who are developing solutions. There should be clear mandate about like how the data should be operated, where the data should lie, etc. Regulations like GDPR, which we abide with in Europe, and do help a lot. Because then we have got clear framework around like the data strategy and how we can actually maintain a data, and how responsibility should be given to different type of stakeholders involved in the whole data journey. So I think the triple S framework can work very well, considering the different departments who are involved, and the kind of synergy we need to create.
Thank you for your thoughts on this, Aarsh and Kavita ma'am. And thank you for giving us this triple S framework. And the one of the key challenges schools face is ensuring data privacy and security while implementing AI tools. So addressing this requires a strong focus on ethical AI also, ethical practices, along with proper training for educators to effectively integrate these technologies in a way that benefits students without compromising their privacy. So thank you for mentioning all of this. And yes, definitely, a complete hand holding is also required by while working with these AI tools, like Kavita ma'am mentioned about Gamma AI. Definitely, it cannot give us a complete PPT that we want. We have to make changes, and a hand holding is definitely required for that purpose. So, moving towards the next question, what AI tool or technology do you think will be the next big trend in education, and how will it change the learning experience?
So already, I think we're using quite a lot of AI tools right now. We're using Microsoft Copilot, we're using ChatGPT, we're using Gamma, we're using Magic School, we're using Canva. So we're using all these tools, and they are supporting us, definitely supporting us to make sure that our efficacy and our productivity is definitely improved, and we are saving time. But I think I'm still looking at that big trend you're talking about, and I'm still looking into the spatial education where sitting from here, I am learning an object, and Arsh sitting from UK is looking at the same object, and we are both discussing that object right now, and we both can feel that respective object. I
Mhm.
think that is something I'm still looking at, and my readings out here, and Arsh is reading out there, and then we are collaborating over this. So I think that AI tool where we bring in all this, the touch, the critical thinking, the touch, the speaking. That is what I am thinking will revolutionize education to the biggest level. Like for example, sitting at London, if he's talking about the Big Ben, and I'm talking about here something in say Jew Beach, and we actually showcase this, in a different way, a learning environment way. Then I think that's commendable.
I think what she has explained is actually the dream for me as well. So yeah, it will be really immersive and really like very interesting to have such sort of interactions actually. So yep, there's a lot of opportunities, and we're using a lot of tools. Clearly mentioned by Kautari as well that okay, we're using a lot of tools which are doing different type of activities. But the real game changer will be when a tool arrives, which is a complete platform, which will have all these capabilities. So that is like interactions, engagements. There's work done through these tools by different stakeholders. Still, there is a probability of collaborating and understanding from different stakeholders, the type of insights, the type of actions they're taking, etc. So if we get to that level wherein we have different stakeholders collaborating in one tool, working in a particular sector, and thereafter the collaboration of data helps us to understand more about the type of insights we need to generate and also start predicting about that. So having such sort of tool is something which is my fascination. So I'm working. We at Gravitas we are working towards automation. Automation. We started our journey, and we have taken that stride forward to try to start like getting everything together. Basically, whether it's interactions, whether it's platform, but we have got a long way to go definitely. So that sort of vision definitely fascinates me a lot.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that, Ash.
It will take years to do that, but yeah, like we think like that, but it definitely like technology takes its own sweet time to develop things. We are in the moment integrating processes, conversations, analytics, and then the next is about data science. But we'll have to like work through a lot of with a lot of educators, a lot of stakeholders to understand the real pain points, and then probably reach to the point where we are probably in the say 5 years time, 6 years time. No, you never know.
I'm hoping for that.
Thank you for your insights on this topic, panelists, and thank you also for talking about the learning platforms. I would like to add one and two lines on this that the adaptive learning platforms powered by AI, that, as you mentioned, are poised to be the next big trend in education. So, these platforms will revolutionize the learning experience. Definitely by continuously adjusting content and assessment methods to meet each student's unique needs. And in the long run, it will make education more personalized and effective than ever before. So definitely, these adaptive learning platforms is the new trend that will come in the coming future. So now let's move to our next segment, that is a myth busting round. So here we will tackle some of the common misconceptions and misunderstandings surrounding our topic. So, starting with the first question, a common concern about AI is that it will lead to less human interaction in education. So, how do AI tools actually support and foster meaningful student teacher interaction, and how we can debunk this myth?
I think it's a myth because the tools are for support, and tools, as it's mentioned in your question as well, the tools are for support. The tools are for like providing the right kind of assistance, and when you have that sort of assistance, it gives you more time to focus on the interactions. So as long as we are using the technology and the tools for the right kind of things, and not overutilizing them, or trying to utilize it for the purposes which are not properly human, that should be fine. And we should be controlling AI at that level, like working with the AI company and founding an AI company. If we're speaking about controlling AI, that's very like sometimes can mean like, okay, I'm taking very different position, but it's not like that. We have to be regulated, we have to be ethical, we have to think about the benefits of the technology and then process it. So it's very important that we understand, okay, technology is for assistance. We are able to compute fast, we are able to scale fast, we are able to get a lot of information fastly, we are able to get insights, we can predict for future, we can cluster things up. So but we have to use these things for our benefits, and that will help reduce the time to which is spent by humans in these activities. And then we can start thinking about how we can be more creative about our interactions, how we can be more human, because ultimately interactions are important, and that is how we run as a society. So if you stop doing that, like traditionally, like this has happened like in the mobile era, and if you consider like the era where we grew up, so it was very different. Like we used to like go out a lot with our friends and have some different type of fun. These days, unfortunately, students and kids, they are more into mobile games, etc., which is a very different type of era, but unfortunately it also reduces the level of engagement which people used to have. So yeah, we have to think about technology, the best uses of technology, but it has to ultimately keep everything human.
So I would just like to say that every time something new comes in the market, every time we always have this mindset, oh, it's going to change things and interaction is going to become less. When it came to mobile, when it came to TV, when it came to all these things. But it all depends again. What Arsha spoke about is basically interactions, and whether you are a social person also or not. Even that those times people are not social, and then they used to withdraw into the books.
Hmm.
Now it has become digital, so it is upon your personality also.
Hmm.
Another thing that we actually in the school held an event, we call it high STEAM, where we club history with STEM. And this time our theme for secondary students was AI in education, and all the students had to use AI tools to personalize their learning within the classrooms. So, for example, my students are learning AC dynamo, they're also learning DC motor. They actually use AI tools to create a video to show them the direction of the induced current. Now, when you talk in class
Hmm.
about any electromagnetism and talk about induced current, those who are physics people know it is very abstract. It
Yeah.
is not easy at all to say what is the direction of the
You
force,
start
and I
with
think
yourself. Yeah.
yes, the Fleming's, the right hand rule, the left hand
Yeah.
rule, and you're showing them, this is the direction. Now look at it. If the diagram actually shows you how it's coming across, the video is showing you how the direction of the induced current, how personalized the learning has become.
Hmm.
The students came together, they created the video, then they're showing it to other students because they're feeling a sense of pride. I now know the direction. So the pride, and then they're sharing.
Hmm.
So I felt that joy of, I have learned something, I'm sharing it with somebody, and then we call the parents to view what the work the students have done. I think the interactions were amazing. I thought the connections were amazing, and there was a wow moment for everybody. Every wow moment after some time, dies down, but then a new thing comes up.
Hmm.
So I feel it all depends upon very important mindset. If we are positive about it, students are positive about it, and it is going to work. Even earlier, video games came in, people were not working on that way. So it all depends upon how social you are and what opportunities you're giving it in the school to make sure that this networking is happening, and that's all it is. So bring in AI, bring in something else in the future, nothing is going to change.
Exactly. Thank you for addressing this concern by sharing a wonderful story and summarizing what you both have said. AI tools can enhance human interaction in a great way by automating routine tasks, allowing teachers to focus more on personalized support and engagement with students. And adding one more point that by streaming administrative work and providing real-time insights, AI can facilitate deeper and more meaningful connections between students and teachers. So now moving towards the next question. It's sometimes thought that AI tools only benefit students and not teachers. So let's talk about this myth that how do these tools also provide significant support and benefits for educators also?
Ash, do you want to go or?
I can give it a try, but you're better poised to answer the question because you got all the experience behind you. But yeah, in terms of educators, definitely it's for their assistance as well, because teachers also do spend a lot of time. Educators also spend a lot of time researching and like keeping up to date with the new information, and also I've like in my family I've got educators, and I've seen them working every now and then to think about how it can be more better. The delivery can be more better, how they can help the students, how they can understand more about the students, and try to provide some kind of like uh, information provision which is in line with what they need. So in a class, you don't need to just only provide the information, but also understand uh, who can absorb in which way. So I've seen them doing that. So definitely, like with the generative AI, and so there are two things. One is in getting the information, getting the research, and getting the right kind of insights to further increment the uh, value which can be generated, and also at the same time with use of technology and transformation, trying to provide a different kind of education which will be very immersive. So it will definitely help educators in cutting down a lot of BAU efforts, and at the same time trying to be more interactive and engaging, while helping them to put their efforts more on the right focus area, which is about the students.
So I'll take it from there and I'll tell you exactly the actual as a teacher what you do. First of all, every teacher has to create a lesson plan. Okay, go to an AI, give a proper prompt, and your lesson plan is created.
Mhm.
Spending just 5 minutes. Second, you need to create some kind of test. Just go to the AI tool, ask them that you require 5 questions or 10 questions, give the question topic and everything, and your test is created. You don't like it, ask them to recreate it. They don't say no, 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 no. They say yes, 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 yes. So that's you're gonna as many times you want to do it. Third, you want to do some kind of create a circular for your parents or an email for your parents, like a draft and a nice, beautiful email comes very positively created. You're not spending time across for that. When it comes to assessing is checking students' voices or whether they've done properly things or not. It supports you there also where the students recorded something and they can assess whether the student has spoken properly or not. So that again, AI tools can work on checking voice modulation of the students when it comes to checking for listening skills or reading skills. It does check all of that. Then also to in terms of any kind of attendance of the students or create a graph or analysis of the results. I want to
Mhm.
know how my students have performed from last year to this year. They immediately put in the data and the data is created. So now think of it from all the point of view when it comes to teaching, creating PPTs, you put in proper prompts, a lovely PPT is created. You want to create a video is created. Now, so many things can get created for you just at a in within 5 minutes. Then how is it not benefiting a teacher? It definitely is benefiting a teacher in so many ways. Sometimes a teacher I'm lost for ideas also. So you can also put it across, share a some kind of experiments to be conducted for so and so topic. I want to drive this concept home. You'll get so many experiments and then you choose what is as per your resources available. So there is so much support. So I think AI is actually a boon for teachers. So why should we not accept it and just use it? Because no matter what, one thing everybody feels is AI comes, teacher will go. Teacher can never go. Today, the way I'm talking to you, my passion, the way I'm moving around, no AI is going to replace me. So that's how important we are.
I totally agree with the summary of the whole conversation, that it will not replace teachers at all. Teachers are irreplaceable. We'll have technology as a tool to assist them.
Yes. So thank you for shedding light on this. And indeed, AI tools support educators by automating administrative tasks, providing data-driven insights into students' performance, and offering personalized resources and lesson planning aids. Thank you, Kavita ma'am, for debugging this myth in the form of beautiful pointers that you told us. And these pointers only tell us that how AI enables teachers to focus more on instruction and individualized support, ultimately enhancing their effectiveness and reducing burnout. So, thank you, sir and Kavita ma'am, for your thoughtful contributions and valuable insights. And your expertise has greatly enriched our discussion and provided a clearer understanding of AI's role in education. We appreciate your time and engagement, and thank you for joining today's session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rishari, and thank you, Kavita.
Thank,
Thank you so much.
thank
Bye-bye.
you.